I've been swinging flies my whole life. I mean, I grew up thinking that, you know, swinging flies was just how you steelhead fished, and it's just now been with the, you know, the advent of the spey rod that it's kind of taken my swing fishing to another level. We're able to throw some of these, you know, big intruder type flies and big swimming type bugs like this Squidro. I mean, the Squidro, for all practical purposes, is just a big kind of rubber leg intruder knockoff. It's just a rubber legged intruder is all it is. Once I got on the whole rubber leg kick, the color options were just endless. I mean, they came with speckles and fluorescents and metallics and fire tips, and you could just get colors that you couldn't get in the more natural, you know, feathered hackled materials. And so, man, I mean, it was like a kid in a candy store. Just about any color combo you could imagine you could have with the rubber legs. And then, you know, it ended up being kind of an after fact that you know, they're just a heck of a lot more durable. You know, you don't spend 45 minutes tying an intruder and go out and have the dollies chew the tails off it the first day you fish it. I mean, I've been fishing some of these rubber leg flies, I've been fishing for a whole season. You know, I think a lot of people have the false impression that steelhead do eat a lot of shrimp and prawns and things like that, but in actuality, the biggest part of a steelhead's diet is squid. And so I can feel really confident when I'm fishing a squid-like silhouette like this that hopefully I'm going to elicit some of those same chase, feeding instincts that they have when they're in the ocean. You know, these big flies like the Squidro also allow me to fish in conditions that I just didn't used to be able to do with a standard 10-foot sink tip and a smaller, more traditional fly. You know, these big silhouettes allow me to fish in dirtier water than I used to fish, and I've found that actually the dirtier water, especially in the wintertime, our fish are more aggressive and eager to bite. So I find I'm able to actually fish in conditions where the fishing is better. There were conditions that I used to when I was younger, considered the river blowing out. But I'll tell you what, a big purple and pink fluorescent rubber leg Squidro, I can fish some pretty grubby water and feel really confident. One, the fish are going to eat it, and two, that the fish are laying over in friendly water where I can get at them. And the lead eyes on these things allow me to sink down and get at their level. So I'm not asking our winter fish to travel several feet up to take the fly. I can actually take this fly with these big lead eyes, angle it slightly upstream, kick a bag bend in it, take the tension off it, let those lead eyes just fall. And I can feel confident when that fly starts to swing around that I'm down somewhere near fish level. I also know I got a big wiggly silhouette down there that's sparking their interest. They're definitely noticing it. God, you know, I visualize this thing when it's swimming in the water. You know, I've seen it, I've actually swam with it, and I've watched it under the water. And man, these legs just come alive. It's unbelievable how lifelike these things are. And you know, I mean, it's just no denying there's not a fish out there that swims that can turn down rubber legs, man. There's just something about them that triggers that chase response. You know, when I'm down really low in a river system where I feel like I'm close to the tide and I got some fish that have just rolled in, man, I really feel like these kind of squid-like looking rubber-legged flies really trigger that innate chase response that you know, that's still fresh in those fish's mind. I mean, these fish could have just been in the ocean out there feeding hours, if not days, before I'm fishing for them. So, I mean, I love throwing on some of the more kind of ocean tone or some of the seafood series type Squidros that really are imitating, you know, an actual squid. You know, these things have worked good for me just about anywhere I've tried them. You know, I mean, I got some more, you know, kind of subdued tones that I fish in the summertime, some more kind of fluorescent type stuff in the winter, and you know, everywhere from the coastal rivers to our inland rivers here. And you know, I got a friend right now, probably as I'm speaking, that's up there crushing them in BC on these things. You know, as the Squidro pattern evolved, I found that I was kind of tying 3 different distinct series of these patterns. And you know, one was the what I call the ocean food series or the seafood series, and it's a, you know, a real kind of natural ocean food type colors, like this white one here with the pearl rubber legs and the black fleck. The other Squidro series that I found myself kind of falling into is what I call a winter series, which is, you know, it's obviously a little bigger. The lead eyes are a little bit bigger. It's got large lead eyes on it, and it's tied with more of the kind of what we envision as the winter tones, the bright fluorescents. Here's a pink one, a pink and purple one, and real great fly for kind of the gritty water that we find oftentimes in the winter. And yeah, so the winter series are just more suited for big colored water. The series I find myself fishing under most circumstances is the summer series. It's a little bit smaller. It's got medium lead eyes, you know, and not really needing to get down too deep. It's a little bit smaller profile than the winter series. And, you know, this just ends up being a little bit better all around fly. From a tire standpoint, it's hard to ignore one of the most attractive things about this fly is the fact that it's really durable. I mean, you know, I sit down to tie a fly, it takes me 30 or 40 minutes to tie. I like to know the thing's going to last me a while. I'm not going to go out and in the first hour have the dollies chew all the tails off the end of the intruder that just took me 45 minutes to tie. So, you know, from a tire standpoint, it's nice to know that you're not wasting a lot of your time. And from a consumer standpoint, it's nice to know you're buying a fly that's going to last.